Welcome back to Dodger Stadium. Marshall leads off the bottom half of the sixth for Los Angeles. He'll be followed by Mickey Hatcher and John Shelby. And in case you're wondering, Barry Larkin is still at shortstop. And Jackson still on the mound. 0-2 the count.
Larkin is loosening up, of course, out there, taking some ground balls thrown over there from O'Neill. And Rose's eyes were fixed on the shortstop, watching him very carefully.
And now Jackson misses inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Marshall having a good year. 281, 18 home runs, leads the Dodgers with 75 runs knocked in. And he's played in a lot more games this season than the current 7-year tenure. There's a base hit to center field. That is the 5th Dodger hit of the night. The 2nd for Marshall. And that'll bring up first baseman Mickey Hatcher. Hatcher 0 for 2. Ball 1. Reds outfield pretty much straight away. Winningham maybe shaded a bit towards right. Straight back. He will not have a play.
We got those 2 infield singles in the 5th, Tommy. I think that is hit number 6 now for the Dodgers.
You're exactly right. The 1-1. Up high, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Got 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 5th, and now this leadoff single here in the 6th.
6 all told. Could be 2. And they get the force at second. Heads up ball for Larkin. He charged hard and threw hard to gun down Marshall at second base.
You know, I hope the folks at home don't think that I'm being too hard on Larkin. I certainly admire, and I'm sure Pete Rose admires, the intestinal fortitude of this guy who wants to play. And he did save a run back there when he committed those 2 errors, and I applaud this kind of character in a fella. Glad to see it. The folks, in the interest of fair reporting, I had to refer to those 3 errors early in the year here and what was taking place again, you know, and I hope that he'll mean a great deal more to this club on the field than he would be to hurt them. It is so important that you try to put your best people out there in a series like this. 42,557 paid attendance here tonight. 43,000 plus in the house.
Another big night. Dodgers will go over the 3 million mark again this year. Count 1-1 to John Shelby. Folks down in Lexington, of course, familiar with Shelby. Henry Clay High School grad. Jackson misses just inside. 2-1.
I look forward to seeing a lot of our friends in Kentucky, folks from Lexington, and all you folks in Louisville. The first Saturday in November, where the Breeders' Cup comes to Churchill Downs. $10 million for 7 races that afternoon.
Not a bad day's work.
Oh,
are you saying that's what you're making?
No, that's
okay.
That's what we're going to give away that day. Now, Bruce Frumming coming down and checking in with Davis, and apparently Davis got clipped. The trainer of the Dodgers coming out.
appears to be in some pain.
Apparently it took in the right shoulder. See, they're working, checking the shoulder out. He might have been hit right on the shoulder blade there. That is the other Dodger trainer. Bueller is their head man here, and Charlie Strasser, his assistant.
So the count now 2-2 to Shelby. 1 out. Bottom half of the 6th. And the Reds lead it 4-2. The Reds 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, both by Larkin. The Dodgers 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. Runs it full, 3-2. Shelby was the guy who provided the big blast a couple of nights ago off Mike Scott to win the opening game of that series with Houston. Hit a 3-run home run in the 8th. The payoff. Swing and a miss. Jackson, number 5 of the night.
Did an excellent job with that one. He really working the spots tonight exceptionally well, Jackson. Got that one outside.
Shelby the long walk to the Dodger dugout. Here's Hamilton. He reached on the Larkin error 1 inning ago in the 5th. That was the 2nd of the back-to-back errors, and Shelby came home to score. Right back up the middle, base hit.
That's the 3rd time a shot has gone right back at Jackson tonight, and he just hasn't been able to make the play. I'll tell you, they've been firing at him there.
Very little reaction time, you could say, on a base hit like the 3 we've seen tonight.
It's tough.
So 2 on, 2 out. Catcher Rick Dempsey, 1 for 2. He reached on one of those 2 infield hits an inning ago.
It's even now at 7 apiece.
Davis back, has a beat on it, and makes the catch.
Oh, hold on. My, what a play.
Well, that wraps up the inning. A fine play by Davis and Wright. We'll take another look at it in just a moment. Cincinnati leads 4-2.
Eric Davis sitting there next to Rio, and Eric in right field, and he just made a very big play in this game. Shot deep out there in right. Dempsey just got it into the glove, and then hello, little ricochet off the wall, and hold on, we got another view of it. He really had to hurry to get there. Just got it in the top of the glove and full bore into that wall. And all right, big play by Davis. Still 4-2 Reds.
Not familiar territory out there to Davis. Only the 3rd time this year he's been in right. Came in on that ball a little bit. We've seen him do that, I think, twice tonight already. But boy, got that one in the web of the mitt. Haul it in for the 3rd out to allow nothing across. 2, 3, and 4 for Cincinnati against Tim Cruz in his 2nd inning of work here in the 7th. Sabo, Daniels, and Davis. Hit to center field. Shelby coming in, and he makes the grab. Shelby can really go get it out there in center field. Lasorda had some interesting comments about Shelby. He had such a good season last year and has done well as a Dodgers center fielder this year. He said when we dealt for him to Baltimore a couple of years ago from Baltimore, had no idea who the guy was. And now he's a mainstay out there in center. And here's the Reds mainstay in left, Daniels.
Taking a pot shot at the front office. Somebody must have known who it was.
Mr. Campanis would have known back then.
I think so.
Daniels is 1 for 2. Grounded to short in the first. Walked and scored in the third. And singled to center in the fifth. Adam McNeil will be real happy with himself after swinging through that one. Cal's average now up to 284. 2-1. Foul off. And on the count, even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Daniels followed by Davis. Here in the Cincinnati 7th. Line to right. Marshall back. Will go over his head. Daniels on his way to second. Marshall the throw. Will not be in time, and Cal has his second hit of the night.
And the 5th double of the evening for the Reds.
Right fielder, Eric Davis.
Well, Davis has done it offensively and defensively so far tonight. Drove in the first 2 Cincinnati runs in the third, when he doubled to the left center field gap, bringing home Sabo and Oster. And then made that fine grab in the bottom half of the 6th to save 1, maybe 2 more Dodger runs. Outside, ball 1.
You mentioned Jesse Orozco and his troubles earlier. He loosens up in the Dodger bullpen. He has not had the kind of year they had hoped for out here.
Count now 2-0 to Eric. Chop foul. Back behind the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. For those 2 RBIs, Davis now ups his team lead to 86 on the season, inching ever so closer to that 100 mark he reached a year ago. Cruz to the belt. Count now 3-1. And not the kind of situation you want to be in with Davis at the plate. Emphasize that a little more because he's swinging the good stick. Right at Hamilton. Throw gets by the first baseman Hatcher. They wave Daniels around, and the score now goes to 5-2 Cincinnati.
Well, you see a lot of people start to get up and walk out of here now. That's just the way the fans are here. They come about the 2nd inning and usually leave about the 8th. They may start in the 7th now. And here comes Baranowski.
Not sure whether that throw was that bad.
It was tough to tell, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sure was. Hatcher had to reach towards the second base side to make the catch. Hamilton had all kinds of time because the ball was hit hard.
Let's take a look at it. He bobbled it once, but he did have all kinds of time, and well, it looked to me like Hatcher should have made that play. They have, of course, charged the error, and I'm not sure whether they charged it to the third baseman or the first baseman. It is an error on the first baseman. E3. We're going to get a pitching change, and we'll take timeout. Here in Dodger Stadium, 5-2, the Reds, and Jesse Orozco comes on. Orozco, born up in Santa Barbara, California, beautiful city up north of here on the coast. traded to the Dodgers from the Oakland A's after the Dodgers had traded Jack Savage, Bob Welch, and Matt Young to Oakland for shortstop Alfredo Griffin and pitcher Jay Howell. And the Athletics, you remember, traded Savage and a couple of pitchers to the Mets for Orozco. That deal made back in December of '87. Orozco originally drafted by the Cardinals in '77 but didn't sign.
So Orozco will come on in the top half of the 7th. Cincinnati has already pushed one across and have a runner in scoring position. Davis is at second. O'Neill's had a good night. 2 hits and a walk. Drove in 2 with that base hit double in the 3rd inning, scoring Daniels and Davis. They intentionally walked him in the 5th. Now Dempsey and Orozco can't get something straightened out.
They were maybe trying for an appeal down at third base. Let's see. Orozco's 2-2. That's a decent ERA, 3.25. They're going to throw over. Safe is the call. Appeal goes down the drain. Orozco with 8 saves. He's given up 36 hits in 44 1/3 innings.
Of course, had the big year with the Mets a couple of years ago. O'Neill thought about it, held back. Strike 1. They really have cleared out of here, haven't they?
Yeah, that's the way it goes here. They'll start to lead.
Now the Reds lead this one 5-2, but the Dodgers have 3 more cracks at it. 7th, 8th, and 9th. 1-1.
Check the games in progress. Atlanta and San Diego are 4-4 going into extra innings down at San Diego. Houston 3-0 over San Francisco in the 8th. And again, the finals: Pittsburgh 5-2 over Philadelphia, New York 7-3 over Montreal, the Cardinals 6-2 over Chicago. All of the action in the American League is over. Yankees beat Detroit 3-2. Boston 7-4 over Cleveland. Red Sox moving along. Toronto 8-1 over Baltimore. Minnesota beat Chicago 1-0.
The 1-2 will play for Shelby in center. 2 away.
California won over Texas 5-3. Oakland 14-6 over Kansas City. And the Brewers hanging tough in extra innings, 2-1 over Seattle in 11th. That brings you up to date.
Reds trying to inch one game closer to being even with the Dodgers on the season. Dodgers lead the series 7-5. 3-3 here at Dodger Stadium. LA the advantage 4-2 at Riverfront. And let's not forget, after tonight, these 2 ball clubs have 5 more games against one another. Winningham takes the first pitch for a strike.
If the Reds gain this victory, they will be 74-66. The Dodgers 79-60. The Reds will only be 6 out on the lost side.
Right side. Hatcher takes it himself, and that'll do it. But one more across. We go to the bottom half of the 7th. 5-2 Reds. Cincinnati 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. The Dodgers 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. Jay Randolph. And yours truly, Tom Brenneman, bringing you the action from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Our final regularly scheduled telecast of the season. But there might be more in store.
I sure hope so. Sure hope so. We'll, of course, be watching what happens. Whether there'll be a need to add a few games later this month.
In the bottom half of the 7th. 9-1-2 here for the Dodgers. And this, a pinch hitter for Los Angeles.
Mike Devereaux. He's batting 115 on the year, has an RBI, 26 times at bat, 3 hits.
Was up with the big ball club earlier in the season and just recently called back up from AAA ball. Devereaux, a good prospect. As a matter of fact, they just came out with the Pacific Coast League's top prospects, and a man who we saw last night in San Diego, Sandy Alomar, his son Sandy Jr., the top prospect, and the young man who started this game tonight, Martinez, number 2.
Strikeout number 6 for Jackson. Well, with Oakland and Minnesota both winning, Oakland's lead is 11. Kansas City lost. They're 15.5 back. Oakland in command in the American League West. Boston won. Detroit lost. Milwaukee and New York won. Boston leads by 2.5 over Detroit, 4.5 over Milwaukee and New York. Mets won. Pittsburgh won. Montreal lost. Mets lead by 9 over Pittsburgh, 12.5 over Montreal.
Here's Sachs with 1 gone. He's had a good night. Upped his average 2 points to 281. 2 for 3. Scored the first Dodger run of the ball game to give them a brief 1-0 lead before Cincinnati scored 4 times in the 3rd. 2 balls and no strikes. There's strike 1. Jackson rolling right along. If he should finish this one, he would up his league to 14 complete games. At Sabo, the throw, 2 down. And in case you're curious, no activity in the Reds bullpen.
Shortstop, Alfredo Griffin.
Take time out for station identification along the Reds television network.
Your #1 sports station in Cincinnati, WLWT.
So far, so good in game 1 of the big weekend series here at Los Angeles. Cincinnati leads at 5-2. Jackson against Alfredo Griffin. Checks his swing. Yes, sir. Ring him up. No balls, 2 strikes.
Ramon Martinez has been taken to Centinela Hospital here in Los Angeles for precautionary x-rays. Remember that he had a ball hit back through the box and hit his hand. After that, he had some control problems, left the game, and he was examined by the team doctor here, Dr. Gambardella, and they decided to go have the hand x-rayed for precautionary reasons. So we certainly hope he'd be okay.
Well, Jackson trying to beat the Dodgers for the 3rd time in the '88 campaign. Swing and a miss. Number 7 for Jackson. We go to the 8th. Reds lead at 5-2. We're back in Los Angeles, and the Reds leading game 1 of this 3-game series, 5-2. New pitcher on for Los Angeles, Ken Howe, to tell you about that. And to call the play-by-play, Jay Randolph.
Tom, Howell follows Martinez, Horton, Holton, Cruz, and Orozco. He is from Detroit, Michigan. Was the Dodgers' number 3 selection in the June '82 free agent draft. Five runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for the Reds. 2-7-1 for the Dodgers. Howell with a 0-2 record and the largest ERA on the club, 13.50. He's pitched 6 2/3 innings, given up 16 hits and 11 runs over that span.
Leading off for the Reds, catcher
Jeff Reed will lead it off as we move to the 8th inning. Reed tonight has grounded out. He got an infield single. He doubled in the 6th. 2 for 3, hitting .226 as he stands in there against Ken Howell. Howell came out of Detroit, was a great high school star, and pitched for Tuskegee Institute before signing a contract. 1 ball to Reed. And that's a little high. Ball 2. Reds had a big 3rd inning, got 4 runs on 2 hits. There were also 3 walks in that inning. That was helpful. Reds picked up a run with the help of an error and a double by Daniels in the 7th. Lead at 5-2. Dodgers got single runs in the 1st and the 5th. Strike on the outside corner, 2-2. Crowd of better than 43,000 on hand here. A good many of them have already left. Down the left side, Gibson on the run is going to get there in fair territory. 1 gone. Norm Charlton and Oral Hershiser in game 2 tomorrow. And Sunday, Tom Browning will try for his 16th victory of the year against Tim Belcher. Oster has walked and scored. That was in the 3rd. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th, and he flied to left in the 6th inning. Swings and misses. Oster up off the mound. Griffin makes the play. That ball got a helping hop for Griffin. There are 2 gone for Jackson. Danny sacrificed successfully in that big 3rd inning. He struck out in the 4th and in the 6th. This man trying to win number 21. And if you joined us late, I'll remind you again that the last time anybody had 21 victories in a Reds season was Tom Seaver in '77. 7 of those wins, though, belonged while he was over with the Mets. He finished the year 21-6. Sam Ellis in '65 won 22. He was 22-10. The top candidate, in my mind, for the Cy Young Award. Trying to go to 21-6 here tonight against the division-leading Dodgers. Swing and miss, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Ought to be the top candidate right now in everybody's mind. Of course, there's some argument for that guy pitching tomorrow if you're a Dodger fan, Oral Hershiser, but Jackson has been the man.
And the ball gets away from Dempsey. He'll throw on down and strikeout. So we'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Cincinnati has the 3-run lead. With Tom Brenham and Jay Randolph at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. And you can see that folks are headed out of here. I would bet that we don't have 45,000 left here.
Started with 42.
So actually a little over 43 in the house. 5-2 the Reds. Gibson leading it off, bottom of the 8th inning. He's grounded out 3 times.
And the big one came in the 5th because it was Jackson facing Gibson with the bases loaded, and the Reds at that point only led by 2 runs. He got Gibson to ground out short to second in that fielder's choice to end the Dodger threat, and they've put nothing across since.
Sabo, Larkin, Oster, and O'Neill on the infield. Daniels, Winningham, and Davis left to right in the outfield. Jackson trying to go the distance and pick up number 21. 2 balls and no strikes.
You know, Danny has already won as many games this season as the last 2 combined with Kansas City. And he'll be the first to point out, he says, hey, they've scored runs for me, which they certainly didn't do in Kansas City. And I've had good defense behind me.
Down in the Reds bullpen, everybody up, peering through the screen. And a walk to Gibson. Not a very good way to start this 8th inning. For Jackson.
Right fielder, Mike Marshall.
That is his first pass of the evening.
That's getting it done.
Marshall with an infield single in the first, grounded out in the 4th, singled up the middle in the 6th. He is 2 for 3, batting .284 as he stands in there now. Gibson has stolen 30 bases, but I wouldn't think they would be thinking about running here. They want to try to get a couple of base runners.
Well, the Cincinnati bullpen starting up now. We'll find out who they've got down there warming up in just a moment. Rob Murphy and Rob Dibble. Those starting to crank up in the bullpen. Pete not going to take any chances letting this one slip away.
Up the middle. Ricochet off to Oster, double play. All right.
What a play by Oster.
Got a little help from the mound, but that's what you have to do when you get the opportunity.
And here's the guy that makes the most of every single opportunity. Yeah, he did get the help. Bounced high off the mound, ball hit hard, stepped on second base, knew he had to take it himself, and threw a strike to O'Neill at first to double up Marshall. We'll take another look at it from a different angle. And nobody can make that throw any better from second base than Ron Oster.
Hatcher bats with 2 gone. Down to Sabo. Spuds throws on. Out of the inning. We've played 8. Reds lead 5-2.
Welcome back to Dodger Stadium. Want to remind you one more time, Fan Appreciation Day coming up Sunday, October 2nd, when the Reds meet the Braves at 2:15. This year's grand prize, a 1988 Chevrolet Cavalier from Chevrolet, the heartbeat of America. Other great prizes include weekend accommodations at the Hyatt Regency, an answering machine from GTE, $500 in merchandise at the Reds gift shop from H. Wolf & Sons, many other great prizes. A great afternoon. So get your tickets now for Fan Appreciation Day. Again, the date, Sunday, October 2nd. Reds and the Braves will square off at 2:15. And we've let you know already a couple of times tonight, postcard entries accepted.
Big homestand, of course, next week. The Astros and the Dodgers are coming to town. Get your tickets. And the Braves leading the Padres 5-4 in the 11th. The Astros and the Giants are 3-3 in the 9th.
That Atlanta game now a final.
Is it a final? Okay, 5-4. The Braves won it. Larkin leading it off. Berry is 0 for 4. He made the 2 errors in the 5th, but also made a tremendous play to save a run from scoring in that inning also.
And Pete's hung with him since then. Apparently Larkin came back to the dugout, said, hey, I'm all right. You mentioned the fact that Pete was glaring out there at short in between innings to make sure.
He was checking him out
right.
very carefully. Checking it out very carefully. Well, this victory here tonight, the Reds get it. Could be the start of something very, very big indeed. It moves Cincinnati within 5.5. Still with 5 games to play against these Dodgers. to the right of us. Be a nice birthday present for you. You've got a birthday coming up on Monday.
Who told you that?
Oh, I know. I know everything. 25 years old you'll be on Monday. Boy, oh boy.
Well, I want to know who's leaking that kind of information.
I'm a Virgo too, you know. I have a birthday coming up on the 19th.
Do you really?
But I'm not 25.
35.
Fly ball to right field. And Larkin is out of there. Yes, sir. We're Virgos. Huh?
Yes, sir, indeed.
Tom Brenneman, Jay Randolph, and Arnold Palmer.
Well, you are turning 35, isn't
Yeah,
that right?
I'm turning it, right? I'm turning it and turning it. Here's Sabo. He is struck out. In the third, he walked and scored. He doubled and was thrown out at the plate in the fifth. And he flied to center field in the seventh inning.
We were talking in the break. If the Reds can close this one out in the bottom half of the ninth, makes it that much more important. And some concerned folks in the stands about this weekend's goings on.
Told that's Nancy Sinatra, but I can't confirm it.
No,
She showed identification, somebody says. They know everything in the truck, these guys. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I'd like to see that information. But it makes tomorrow that much more important. And they've got a tough task ahead of them, talking about the Reds, with 19-game winner Oral Hershiser on the mound.
That is Nancy. The lady behind the lady with the glasses. The 1-2. Let's play for Bruce Kemp. Well, for this summer, ends a marvelous relationship with Jesse Jackson. What's this? 3-3 in the 10th. Houston, San Francisco, 3-3 in the 10th. All the gang again at WLWT. I want to say it's been great working with you this season. Ken Brew and to you, Tom. And, all in all, it's been very special. Roy Alfers, who I had the privilege of working with for a number of years, producer director. They get the appeal at first, but going to throw down, strike out Sabo for Howell, his second K. And that'll bring Daniels to the dish. He is 2 for 3 on the evening. Grounded out in the first. Walked and scored in the third. Singled in the fifth. Doubled and scored in the seventh. Reds are leading at 5-2.
2 of the nights we've telecast, Daniels has had good ball games. Had those 2 home runs in Houston back on Tuesday night. Tonight a couple of base hits, scored a couple of times.
People could look back and say if Daniels and Davis had had good first halves, what might have been. If Oster had been ready to play, what might have been. You can always do that, and that's part of baseball. But this club is going in here very tough, and we will see what happens. Strike right down central. 0-2. Jackson trying for a league-leading 14th complete game tonight. If he can get it, he leads the league with 13. Ken Howell on the hill, the 6th Dodger pitcher of the evening. That's high. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
We've mentioned already the fact that LA does not play good baseball against left-handed pitching. Tonight will make it 19-34 against right-handers. They're 60-36.
Left-handers coming tomorrow and Sunday.
Charlton and Browning. Dodgers haven't seen Charlton yet.
center field. Shelby. He'll handle it. We're going to the bottom of the ninth. The Reds have a 5-2 lead. To the bottom of the ninth inning we go. 5-2. Reds lead it. They've out-hit the Dodgers 8-7. Danny Jackson. Hard to find words to describe what a wonderful year and what big shopping bag full of thrills he's given us.
Well, this will be his 11th win of the last 12 decisions if he can wrap things up here in the ninth. And it'll be his 14th of the last 16. Remember, he was 10-4 at the All-Star break. And since then, chalk him up. 11-2.
Shelby will lead it off. Dodgers need 3 to tie, 4 to win. Shelby is grounded out. In the 5th, he reached on the error by Barry Larkin and later scored, and he struck out in the 6th.
The thing that makes Jackson so tough, along with the fact that he's got a great slider, good fastball, dot. But the fact that his stuff is still as good in the 1st or in the 9th as it is in the 1st inning. He gets stronger and stronger.
Winningham makes the catch, 1 out. Time to thank a lot of people tonight, and I don't want to forget
Third baseman
anybody,
Jeff
but
Hamilton.
special thanks to Alan Sackles, Director of Operations at WLWT, for all of his help. He's taught me a lot about expense accounts. He really has, and I'm grateful for that. Alan's a superman. Thanks to Tony Kiernan, head man. Thanks to Jimmy Ferguson. This shot, all the crew. And let's see if Hamilton is out number 2 here. 1 ball. Scoundrel back, 1-1. Thanks to you too, Leslie. Taking care of me here in the booth in Los Angeles. Always.
Telling you to straighten up that tie a little bit.
Tie straight, right. Hamilton is struck out, reached on an error and singled here. That's just a little low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
This is exactly the kind of performance they needed out of Jackson coming here tonight. Would that really take the wind out of your sails, so to speak, if you roll in here with your ace on the mound and you lose the opening game of such a big series? He's not let him down.
And here's a single to left by Hamilton. That's hit number 8.
Catcher, Rick Dempsey.
Dempsey has a hit, an infield single in the 5th to go with a strikeout in the 2nd, and a shot deep to the outfield in the 6th.
From our vantage point, can't tell whether the Reds have somebody up in the bullpen or not. Saw Scott Breeden walk over and pick up the telephone, which normally tells you they're sending a word down to the bullpen to get somebody up. I guess not.
That misses low. Somebody is throwing in the pen now. I can see that they have somebody receiving down there, but we can't tell who's up in the corner. Maybe we can get a look with one of the cameras as to who it might be.
I think we could probably guess.
It might very well be Franco. We're blocked on all the angles up in that corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Strike on the outside corner. A dandy pitch from Jackson.
Boy, and he let that one go. I mentioned just a moment ago the fact that he throws just as hard in the 9th on many occasions as he does in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd innings. He really let that pitch go.
Did he go around? Oh, Bruce Fleming says no. tough call. Let's take a look.
Looks like he may have from upstairs. Reed gave it a shot.
Here's a look at it from center field.
Oh, yeah. Counts 2-2.
Back live. This is a shot outside of third. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Jackson trying to just finish this one out. Dempsey, a prime candidate for a double play ball.
That is strikeout number 8.
Dodgers will send up a pinch hitter, Tracy Woodson. And Woodson on the year hitting .241. Only appeared in 47 games. He was called up when Hamilton was injured earlier in the year. Played a spell at third base. He's hit 2 home runs, driven in 13 runs, 3 doubles,
For the Dodgers.
and he homered off Jackson the last time Danny pitched here at Dodger Stadium.
One of 2 home runs that he has hit this year. A shot into left. 2 on. And the tying run will come to the plate.
Be interesting to see what you do here. Sachs has 2 base hits, but they were his first 2 trips to the plate. Since then, Jackson has got him a line out to left to right field and a ground out to third base. Keep thinking it over. For the time being, he will remain with that man.
Hamilton and Woodson at second and first. 2 out. 5-2 Reds. Chopper foul. Dodgers now have out-hit the Reds 9-8. Big inning was the third for the Reds. The double by Eric Davis to get 2 home, and then O'Neill's double to get 2 home. They got 4 runs on 2 hits, and there were also 3 walks in that inning. Fly ball into left. Daniels, and the Reds win it. Cincinnati comes away here in game 1 with a 5-2 victory. Danny Jackson, number 21 in the victory column on the year. Tommy Lasorda's club still very much in command, but the Reds have a big opportunity here over this weekend to make it interesting. The final, 5-2, the Reds win it.